Hi there, and welcome to another episode of Reviewed and Ranked, and kind of a very different one. So here in the College Cinema today, I got a couple releases to look at, to talk about, and because it's just a couple, it's going to be a bit easier to review and rank them. But it lets me go slightly more in depth with the definitely with one of the releases for sure. And we're looking at the double feature of Toy Soldiers and December. And we're also looking at and I want to make sure I get this completely correct, so I'm taking off my glasses here. The Ultraman Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle, Ultraman Ultra Galaxy Mega Monster Battle Never Ending Odyssey, and Ultraman Mega Monster Battle Ultra Galaxy, the movie. So let's start out with Ultraman. So if you're used to the regular Ultraman stuff that came out, well, this is kind of very different from a lot of the other Ultraman stuff, because can there ever be a perfect adaptation of a video game? For instance, can we get an actual, like, really quality adaptation of a game? And the answer to that is, well, we kind of do right here in 2 seasons and a movie. See, this Ultraman series right here, which is really not an Ultraman series. It's really about the monsters. It's a bunch of monster battles with some of the classic monsters from the Ultraman series. And that's what's really, really kind of cool about this. Basically, it's the crew of Zap Spacey, and we meet up this guy named, what's his name? I think Ray. And basically has this thing with these cards where he puts the cards in and it brings these monsters to life to fight the bad monsters. So it seems like a pretty standard premise, and actually a pretty good premise, especially if you're a kid and you're watching this. So see, there was originally this coin-operated game, the arcade game back then, an Ultraman game called Ultraman Mega Monster Battle. And these 2 seasons of this series are based off of that video game, and in it you're a monster, you battle other monsters. It's kind of the thing. It's a fighting style game. Now, not only that though, but between the time of like the first season of this, the Mega Monster Battle got a Wii version of the game, and actually a second Wii version as well. I think there was 2. I'm pretty sure there's 2 Wii games that came out for Mega Monster Battle. I know it's odd that I'm not talking as much about the series as I'm not talking about the games, but in this way, it kind of makes sense. There's at least one game. I'm pretty sure there's one game at least. And I think that the second game, like the game came out from the Wii, kind of either follows right after or right before Never Ending Odyssey. Like almost, I think they go 1-on-1. So basically, this here was meant like basically as a commercial for that for the Wii game. The second season was. Both seasons run 13 episodes, and they are a ton of fun. If you're familiar with the monster, if you love Ultraman, and your favorite part of the Ultraman series is the monster battles, well, congratulations, this is going to be for you, because it is very much like based and steeped in the monster lore and the monster battles. If you've been like watching and collecting Ultraman and the different series that come out from Mill Creek Entertainment, because these are both, by the way, Mill Creek Entertainment releases, then you'll notice right off the bat that this is like this is the thing. Now, for some people, it may seem like it's more for like a younger audience, and was definitely kind of like leaning towards that, as opposed to something like an Ultraman Orb. But it is just fun. If you're a kaiju fan, if you like Takatsu, you're probably gonna enjoy this. It's colorful, it's fun, it's cheesy, it's over the top, but it's all about the monsters. The story doesn't matter. It's about the monsters. It's about the battles. And you know what? I would love to go back and actually find that Wii game that came out to coincide with the second season. Both of these run around 13 episodes long. They're a blast. The movie's fun too. I actually like the series better than the film, but the film is actually kind of really cool. We do get like Ultraman more in this one here. We get Ultraman Mebius and Ultraman Zero. Ultraman Zero is kind of like the Ultraman that was, for a period of time, he was, what's the word? He was sent away. He was like bad Ultraman. No, not bad Ultraman. But you know, basically he was sent off to basically a distant place, and he lost his memory. And there's a whole thing. You'll figure it out as you go through the Ultraman lore. But this is about the monsters. This is about the battles, and this is a ton of fun. As far as it goes, disc-wise, you can open up here and you can see right there. Like, look at that. There's a monster right there, and there is Re. You are not seeing any Ultraman until right here on the back of it, which I'm pretty sure is from the film. I did go through these, and altogether, I think there's 5 discs, right? So 1, 2, 3, yeah. So 5 discs. So the first 2 discs are going to be for the first series. The second disc and third disc, sorry, the third and fourth disc are going to be for the second series, and the 5th disc is going to be Ultraman, Ultra Galaxy, Ultra Mega Monster Battle, the movie. Now look at that. Look how gorgeous that looks. Each one of these look gorgeous. There is no booklet in these, as far as I know. If there is, but like, this is a review copy, so not quite sure if there's a booklet coming in the others. But usually the booklets are pretty much standard for the legacy editions as opposed to these. Again, it looks gorgeous, fantastically, amazingly colorful. If you're getting all the other Ultraman and you don't have this, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. It's the monsters. And if you've ever been one of those people that you've been watching these Ultraman series as you go through, and you get excited because you see, I'm one of those guys. You see a monster come back that you'd seen in a previous Ultraman show, and like, oh, that's him again. Yeah, this is a show for you. So there you go. That's that's the Ultraman series. I'm sorry, I'm a bit of an Ultraman geek, so I do have a bit of a bias, just to let you know when it comes to Ultraman. There's very little in Ultraman that I actually don't like. So that's me. I grew up with that stuff. Next up is the double feature, and it's a good double feature. And I guess we can kind of count the Will Wheaton double feature, can't we? Toy Soldiers and December. And I want to give you like the cast for both of these films first before I actually go into them. So Toy Soldiers was on, and I think they were both on in '91 actually. So we get, this is a TriStar picture. We get Sean Astin, who's actually the real star of this one here. Will Wheaton, Keith Coogan, Andrew Divoff, yes, the Wishmaster himself is in this one. Denholm Elliott, Louis Gossett Jr. Incredibly fun film. In December, again, another fantastic cast. We get in this one here. We get Balthazar Getty, of course, from the Young Gun films. Brian Krause, Jason London, Will Wheaton. We get Chris Young, and actually an underrated role for Chris Young, actually, because he has to play this geekier character, and a bit more depth than you actually realize. So Toy Soldiers is definitely the kind of slightly the lighter, not really lighter, but it's the more adventurous of the two. Basically, Toy Soldiers is a group of kids that go to a boarding school. Will Wheaton and Sean Astin are kind of the leaders of the group, but there's a few of them. There's around 4 or 5 of them, and they hang out together, and basically they feel like they're the rejects. So their fathers, most of their fathers are influential. They're either businessmen, or one of them's father is actually a mob boss. We come to find that out, and which is a really underrated role there for Jerry Orbach, who's in this film. And he's Jerry Orbach is always one of those actors that give him like a little bit to do. Give him doesn't matter. You can give him the whole film. You give him like a few scenes, but he's always got this extra layer and depth to the stuff that he does, and that it's shown here as well. He doesn't have a lot to do, but what he has to do is pivotal to the film. This film goes in a way different way than I think I expected it to go. I had seen this movie years ago, but it had been so long ago. I saw this back in '91. I hadn't seen it since '91, so I was excited to watch this movie again, and I thought I knew exactly what this was, and I was wrong actually. It went in a way different direction. There's one specific scene in this one that I don't want to give away to you guys, but I did not remember. I was utterly shocked when the scene happened, and I was like, where does it go from here? Like, this is not where I thought this was going. Basically what happens is there's this guy who is the father of Andrew Divoff's character. Andrew Divoff is a terrorist, and he wants to get his father out of jail. So at the beginning of the film, he has taken a courtroom hostage to get his father out of jail, but the judge tries to tell him basically, it's no good. Your father's already been sent to he's already been sent to the U.S. He's in jail over there. There's nothing I can do. And Andrew Divoff doesn't believe him, and we see that these guys aren't exactly the most prepared people in the world. Um, and the judge is correct, though that does not help the judge because he goes flying out of an airplane later on. Obvious parachute there, but still he goes flying to his death. So basically, Andrew Duroff's character finds out that the son of the I think the judge over in the United States is going to this boarding school, but you know they're pretty heads up with the whole thing. You know that Andrew Duroff's character might come there. So at the beginning of the film, they take the kid out and they take him to an undisclosed location. So basically, the terrorists come there and realize, crap, what do we do now? So they go through the school thing and basically, okay, there's some actually very important like kids here. So we'll keep the kids hostage to make sure that we still get what we want, even though the kid that we initially wanted isn't here. And basically, it's like this: if you don't, we're going to do a head count. If anybody at all is missing from the head count, then 2 people get killed, and after that, then 5 people get killed, basically, along that lines. And there is one very tense scene where Sean Astin's character tries to make a play to get information across to the outside, and they're doing the head count, and because of things that have happened, Sean Astin hasn't been able to get back in time, and it's very tense, extremely well done, and I strongly, highly recommend this one. December is a very different film in that, again, it is a character piece, but this one is really a character piece. If somebody had told me that December was based on a stage play, I would definitely believe it. It is a great story, and it's pretty much set right after the bombing of Pearl Harbor. And there are these kids at a boarding school, but in a very different way, in that Brian Krause, who you probably know from, probably Charmed, actually. He was the white lighter. Oops, did I give that away? He was a white lighter in Charmed. But it's been a few years, so I'm guessing you probably knew that by now. If you didn't, I'm sorry, but you've had a few years to watch the original Charmed series. But basically, he is so dead set to go to war. He really, really wants to go to war. He is like, okay, they did they made the wrong move. He's super patriotic. He's a basically Olympic level swimmer, but he is ready to just put it all out there, go to war. He wants to fight the enemy. It's all about the glory for him. Is what it is, and that's the way we see him, especially at the beginning of it. We meet Jason London's character. He's a comic book guy. He kind of lives within his comic books. He loves like Captain America and theirs, but he's scared to go to war. He doesn't want to die, and he does not want to go. And Brian Krause is very upset with him, but he's mostly upset with his best friend Will Wheaton, who, for a reason that I won't tell you because it's interesting to find out in here, and it puts in a very big novel back in the day, and one that did have a movie made about it with Jason Robards, actually. So you can probably guess what the novel is. So he reads this novel and he decides, no, this is not for me. So he's protesting, going to war, and it does at the beginning of it. Like Chris Young's character is rich, and his father pretty much is going to be making munitions for the war. So he says, I'm going to be doing my part that way. Will Wheaton has a younger brother played by Balthazar Getty. They don't get along very well, and Balthazar Getty does. Like he looks up to Brian Krause's character a lot, and he really does want to go to war. So basically the story over the night is a clashing of ideologies. And the one neat thing about this is it doesn't say, okay, this one's totally right or this one's totally wrong. It does give, even though Brian Krause's character does come off as a bit of a hothead and a bit like of a glory hound at the beginning, as the story unravels, we get to really get more depth to his character. So we have like dueling ideologies, and it doesn't say, okay, this one's right and this one's wrong, or this one's wrong or this one's right. It basically just gives us their story and how some of their minds change on their stance throughout the night. So by the next morning, you will see who will be going off to war and who won't. It won't tell you, what happened afterwards. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who came back or who didn't came back, who stayed or who may have gotten drafted afterwards. That's not that it's about this night in their lives and making a decision. And you can't imagine. I can't imagine what it would be like to be in that situation, and at that time period, and having to like make this like life changing decision, and based on like what you hear on the radio, and they both make compelling arguments for their stance, and I think it's a fairly brave thing to do, to put out like there's a lot of like pro-war movies and there's a lot of anti-war movies, but it's nice that they give each of the characters and each of the people their reasons for either wanting to and not wanting to, and they give the reasons for why they changed their minds, and it doesn't end up being like a point of like, well, it's a peer pressure type thing, like it's what you think it's going to be. They all have their reasons for doing, and the reasons are their own. It's pretty much a breakfast club, for, like, because it's set like in this prep school over one night, and it's pretty much like a breakfast club with much higher stakes than you would normally see in one of these films. I don't know if I've seen December before. I thought I had, and some of the scenes in the film makes me think that I have seen it before, but I definitely appreciated it a lot more than I initially had. Of course, if I didn't remember it before. It's really hard to it's easy to review these, but it's extremely hard to rank them, and that's where the issue comes in, because they are very, very different things. These are two like very well acted, very well cast films that I think people are going to go in wanting this for Thai soldiers. This is going to be the reason people are going to get this one. They're going to get this for Thai soldiers, and they may or may not watch December right afterwards, or they may put it back for a while, but they're eventually going to watch December, and they're going to enjoy it. They're going to have a good time with it, and appreciate it for what it is. Now, I had somebody say on one of my streams that they didn't like that they did not like the transfer for December. I don't know if it's where I was into the storyline so much, or I just really enjoyed it, but I didn't have an issue with the transfer on the film. But I'm not a technical person when it comes to this, so don't ever like expect for me to come on here and give you the technical aspects of transfers and like this is this and this bit right now. That I don't do that. That's not my thing. I love films, and I watch, review, and analyze films, and these are two fantastic films. If you are an Ultraman fan, no, you're not going to get as much Ultraman in here as you normally would in the regular ones. But if you love the monsters and you love battles, you're going to have a lot of fun with this. I did. I really did enjoy this a heck of a lot more than I thought I was going to. But it's you do get Ultraman, and don't think you're not going to get Ultraman. You will get Ultraman, but it's the monster battles that are key. And you know what? There you go. This is a good adaptation of a video game. So there you go. You actually have a good video game adaptation out there. So don't let people tell you that there can't be good video game adaptations, because there can be. Apparently, you just got to make 13 episode series out of them and run it over 2 seasons, and then do a movie along with that. As for the ranking on this one, how can you rank these two? They're very different. They're very, very unique. So I guess I'll rank the. You know what? I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna do it. It's my video. I can cheat all I want to. It's a bit of a tie. Now, most people, you're gonna rank this one higher than this one. And I understand it. This, definitely some higher quality stuff. Me, I love video games. I love Ultraman, especially fighting games. So, only way they could have done this better is if they could have gave me a copy of the Ultraman like Mega Monster Battle game. I would have loved that. Or give me a copy of the Wii game. Even I'll take the Wii game. The Mega Monster Battle Ultra Coliseum, which I think was the name of the Wii one. But I'm not sure if it ever made it over to North America. I got to check that out. I know that it was in Japan. So there you go. Story-wise, definitely writing-wise, this one is going to be ranked 1. So we'll put this one in first place. And we'll put this one in second place. But if you're an Ultraman fan, if you're a Monster fan, if you're a Kaiju fan, it is a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy it. I am Aaron. This has been The Call to Cinema. And as always, there is another movie.